What's going on, everyone? Darkside Phil here, and welcome to Release Day Unboxing for August 14th, 2012. And finally, after a month and a half drought of a lack of really major retail releases, we've got two games that are belch, but two games that are highly anticipated, that a lot of people have been waiting for, and it seems like starting kind of this week is the official gaming season, meaning almost every week, not every single week, but almost every week, leading into, say, the end of November, early December, we're going to have major releases for unboxing, okay? So, what do we have this week? Well, there's actually 3 games that came out this week. I only purchased 2, and I'll explain a little bit more about that later on. But the 2 games that I purchased this week that I will be unboxing in this video are Sleeping Dogs and Darksiders 2. Now, with Darksiders 2, I actually purchased the Collector's Edition for the Xbox 360 as well as the strategy guide. And it's not often that I do buy a strategy guide for a game. Usually I buy the strategy guide when I either know, number one, the game's going to be very long, okay? I know that the game's going to have a lot of content. Maybe it's a game that lends itself to puzzles and, that kind of stuff. And being that I do playthroughs, that's what I'm majorly known for on YouTube. I can't afford myself to be stuck on a puzzle for too long, okay? Maybe one part, one video, maybe 2 videos at the most, but when you see me wandering around, not knowing what to do, or standing straight in front of a puzzle and not understanding it, not getting the solution within a couple of parts, it's obviously a big bummer. And for new games, you'll often find that there aren't a lot of people on the internet who know how to solve this stuff. So I did decide, in this case, that it was warranted to buy the strategy guide. In addition, this game, if you don't know much about it, it's the direct sequel, obviously, to Darksiders from a few years back. And Darksiders was a unique game because it combined the adult-oriented combat and gore and elements from games such as God of War with the puzzle-solving exploration kind of aspects of a Zelda game. And I really felt that since I know this game is like that, the game is extremely long. In fact, most reports are saying that Darksiders 2, if you decide to do all the side content, meaning all the side missions, if you decide to actually do find all the items and stuff in the game, it could be up to 50 hours long. Now, do I expect myself to play it for that long? Probably not. I mean, let's be honest here. 50 hours just to get every single mission, every single scrap done, probably isn't warranted for my playthrough. But, that being said, I want to make sure that I'm on the right track. I want to make sure that I know what I'm doing. I'm not saying that I'm going to use the strategy guide, for everything I do. In fact, when I buy strategy guide, it's more of a supplemental material. And what I mean when I say that is, I do my playthrough, and then if I get stuck or I'm confused, then I use the strategy guide. I don't use it unless I can't figure something out for myself after giving it a good, honest try, okay? So I don't want anyone to believe it, oh, I bought the strategy guide, he's just going to use that to beat the game, and this isn't a legit playthrough. No, that's not what I do. I do it legit, but if I get stuck, that's what I got it for, okay? I don't think anyone wants to see me stuck on the same thing for 10 parts, just because it's a puzzle that I can't figure out. Okay, now that's Darksiders, and then you have Sleeping Dogs. And Sleeping Dogs is an interesting story as well. This game is actually, it's true crime Hong Kong, okay? That's really what this game is. This game was being developed by this studio called United Front Games, okay? And they were making this game, True Crime Hong Kong, and they were developing it for a publisher, and forgive me because I can't remember exactly who the publisher was. It was a major publisher at the time. And they're in development of this game. Now, if you don't understand what the publisher means, the publisher is the person who basically has the financial backing to get the game released. So, for example, here as you see the publisher Square Enix. Square Enix are the people who, they didn't develop the game. They took the game once it was done, and they did the marketing for it. They basically produced the discs, they produced the packaging. They're the ones that handle the logistics, getting the games out to retail stores and also digital downloads and such. They're the ones that basically make the game possible to be played, okay? The development studio just makes the game. The publisher actually produces physically the game and gets it out to people and also advertises the game, okay? So these guys, United Front, were making this game and it was pretty much almost done. And then what ended up happening was, if you remember, I think it was about a year to year and a half ago, you know, the economy's been pretty bad in certain countries, including the United States, for quite a while. And certain gaming studios, unfortunately, started feeling some of the effects of this about a year and a half ago. And this particular publisher told United Front Studios, sorry, you know, we know you guys are almost done with the game, but we decided that we're not going to publish the game anymore because this is something we're basically cutting from our budget as a you know, cost-cutting measure. And it was up in the air because once you have a franchise or whatever, you know, you have a franchise of games, and then all of a sudden the publisher drops out, it's like, fuck, what do we do? So what ended up happening was they actually went out and kind of fished the game out to a bunch of other companies, and eventually it was Square Enix who picked it up and said, listen, we like the true crime games, they've had a good sales track record, and the game's almost done, we're going to pick this up for you guys and we're going to produce it. So luckily for these guys, they put in a lot of hard work making a game, and the game almost got canceled completely. How ridiculous, you know, because of the bad economy. A game that's actually a series that's been around for a while, the True Crime series, and has a track record of success, and it almost didn't get made. So that's the story behind Sleeping Dogs. So let's actually get to the unboxings. We're going to cover a couple things here. I'm actually going to tell you if I got any codes or anything for these games, and and what these codes are. As you know, 99% of the games that I buy, I actually pre-order at GameStop because GameStop is the closest game store to me. There's no other like Play and Trade or anything like that near me, and they're usually able to get things such as the collector's editions, as opposed to some other stores who aren't able to get that kind of stuff on release day. And also, they're open early in the morning. I mean, I was there at 10:15 a.m. to pick these games up, as opposed to some other stores where they have the new games. You walk in at 10 a.m. they're like, oh yeah, it's in a box in the back. Yeah, we'll find it at some point during today. Come back in 3 hours. It's a little experience I had with Best Buy there. That's why I'm bringing that up. But anyway, okay. So first, let's take a look at Sleeping Dogs. Okay. Now, first of all, everyone's gonna say, "Whoa, Phil! Oh my God, Phil! Didn't you hear? I can't believe you got this game for Xbox 360. Because didn't you hear the big announcement this past week that this game is going to be outstanding on the PC, and the graphics are like twice as good on the PC, and you should get the PC version, and PC. Well, I did hear that announcement. I did, okay? I'll openly admit, I heard that the graphics will be better on the PC. Too bad. And why I say that is, if you're going to have a game that's a multi-platform, release, and you're going to have one version that's going to definitively be better than the other versions, you should fucking announce it less than a week before release. This was literally announced like not even a week ago, okay? So, I had this game reserved for months, okay? Months. And you cannot get the PC version of games like this at a retail store unless you pre-order, because really it's all about digital download these days. Now the thing is, I kind of wanted to get the pre-order bonus. I pre-ordered this game at GameStop, and because I pre-ordered it, you get, let me see what it is, it's called the Police Protection Pack. Do I know what that is? No, I don't. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to enter the code, and I'm probably going to use it during gameplay, whatever it means. So I'm pre-ordering the game. I want to take advantage of the pre-order bonus that I'm getting, okay? So why didn't they announce that the PC version would be so much better if they knew this? And obviously they did. They made the fucking game. So they knew the PC version had superior graphics and didn't fucking tell anybody until the week of release. It's almost as if they wanted the game to sell on consoles, and they were afraid that if they announced the PC version was better early, that people would be like snobs and say, well, if the PC guys who only play games on PC get this game and it's better, well then I'm not buying it for console. Fuck it, I'm skipping this game. It almost seems like that might have been their attitude, like they were afraid that they would lose sales on the console if this was announced. So, for me, does really having a slightly better graphics, affect my choice? Not really. And the reason really being is, You know, I play these games in 720p, not in 1080p. Most of these games don't render in 1080p regardless. And in my honest opinion, I really don't think there's much of a difference. Now, I know that's not really what we're talking about. We're talking about graphical detail. But I'm going to be honest with everyone, and I know that a lot of people are like nitpickers or whatever when it comes to YouTube and quality or whatever, but I don't really see that much of a difference of like higher definition games versus games that don't have as much detail. Let me give you an example. Some of the most beautiful games I've ever played, let's talk Witcher 2, okay? I'm trying to think of recent PC games that I've played that look, Rage last year. These games on my PC absolutely were gorgeous, and I'm sure that they were better than they looked on consoles. But when I looked at the playthroughs on YouTube that I made, it didn't look any better than any other game that I've played. And the reason is, and I know a lot of people don't realize this, but on YouTube, it actually degrades the quality of the video that you upload to YouTube so that it can stream quickly. That's right, even when you click to the highest resolution, the 720p, the 1080p, what you're watching on YouTube is not the full quality video. It's been compressed, it's been encoded. That's why when you upload a video to YouTube it says processing instead of just going live. It's because they're actually encoding the video in some kind of codec or whatever. They're compressing the quality. And this has actually come to light pretty prominently over the past couple of weeks. John Rambo actually brought it up to me this past weekend because he said, Phil, have you noticed in the past week that a couple videos, or maybe all the videos you've uploaded, that the audio isn't completely synced properly? To which I said to him, John, I'll be honest with you, I don't actually really watch my videos back. Maybe the week in preview or whatever, I'll watch a couple seconds of to make sure that it worked out properly. But once I upload, I'm pretty much done. So no, I didn't notice that. Well, apparently there's this big thing going on right now with YouTube that whatever their processing, encoding process is a little bit buggy this week. And so you might notice that on some videos, the audio isn't synced properly with the video. Okay? And that's because, again, they're processing, it means that they're encoding it, they're degrading the quality so that they can have so many videos on YouTube. If they had the raw, unedited footage of every single video that was ever uploaded to YouTube, I don't think that there's enough server space on the planet to store it, okay? And have the server actually work, let's put it that way. So, okay, so I digress, but I did not get the PC version of the game because I really didn't feel that if I got the PC version of the game, that for the sake of making a playthrough for YouTube, that it would look any better than the console version. In addition to that, I'd already pre-ordered the console version, I wanted the pre-order bonus, and I like the Xbox 360, I like the controller, that's pretty much the controller I'm most used to in my hands. I feel most comfortable with the Xbox controller, and that's just my personal preference. I know a lot of people prefer the PlayStation controller, but I actually prefer the Xbox 360 controller. Not that it would have mattered, because I actually have one that works with my PC, so I don't know why I even made that point, but also, it's cool to get achievements and such, so there's a couple different reasons that I got this for Xbox 360, okay? So now that I've talked for 13 minutes, I guess we should actually unbox a game. Just a lot of stuff to talk about this week. I'm excited to be doing an unboxing video and to be able to actually talk about this stuff after a month and a half downtime, So, Sleeping Dogs, aka True Crime Hong Kong. Welcome to Hong Kong. Beneath the vibrant neon of this island metropolis exists a treacherous criminal underworld. You are Wei Shen, an undercover cop tasked with the infiltration and dismantling of a triad criminal empire. Caught between your loyalty to the badge and a criminal code of honor, you will play a very dangerous game. Undercover. The rules are different. And it says, tear through Hong Kong and explore criminal underbelly, authentic martial arts action featuring intense gunfights and brutal takedowns. This game is only one player, just to warn everyone. It's a single player campaign. I know a lot of people say, gee, does that game have multiplayer? The answer with Sleeping Dogs is no. Sleeping Dogs does not have multiplayer, okay? So now on to Darksiders 2, which I have high hopes for because I actually really enjoyed Darksiders 1 and it was one of my favorite games of that year when it was released. Even though it was a new IP and a lot of people didn't believe in it and didn't know that it was going to be so good, I took the gamble and I really enjoyed it. So we got Darksiders 2 Studio Edition strategy guide with a nice glossy cover there. This strategy guide actually I got it at GameStop, and because you got it at GameStop, it actually says you get a launch exclusive weapon, and actually the code for that weapon's on the back of this sheet, so I'm not going to show it to you. But it also has coverage of the DLC that you got for ordering this game at GameStop. So I'm going to have the walkthrough of that DLC in case I get stuck on it. This strategy guide actually has it. And then, of course, it's beautiful, full-color, glossy pages. Really well done. You know, I enjoy it when you get a nice strategy guide like this for a puzzle/adventure game. Because it really, look, it even has artwork and design stuff in the back. Really nice, okay? So that's the strategy guide. Let's get that out of the way. Now, it's important to note that I did get some pre-order bonuses for getting this at GameStop. Let's take a look here. Oops. We've got the code right here. And what I got for pre-ordering at GameStop is called, you can see it, the Death Rides Pack. Okay? And I guess what that is an exclusive like DLC because you pre-ordered at GameStop. But I'm also going to have several codes I'm going to be showing you that I got because I purchased the collector's edition of the game. There's like 3 or 4 codes inside this box. Pretty crazy. So Darksiders 2 collector's edition. You might have been asking yourself the whole time during the video, what the hell is that? It's actually a life-size Death, who's the main character of this game, replica mask, which is pretty freaking neat. And it's a pretty neat collectible. So let's take a look here at what actually comes with this. Collector's edition includes Darksiders 2 art book, Darksiders 2 soundtrack digital download, life-size replica death mask with a stand, the Argyl's Tomb DLC, an exclusive Shadow of Death pack, and the Darksiders 2 limited edition game. So it comes with all of that stuff, okay? Which is pretty neat. So let's open this sucker up. I did actually take the pack, like the plastic and everything off, but I have not taken out everything yet. Like I haven't even taken the mask out yet, so this is going to be the first time I'm doing it. So first of all, we have the game, which has a nice metallic shine to it. It's the limited edition, and actually says, oh, it actually has that, see that hologram? Yeah, see that shining, the rainbow hologram? They used to do that with comic book covers a long time ago, in the 90s. I don't know if they still do it. But it says free, Argyl's Tomb DLC. I don't know how it's free when you bought the collector's edition and paid extra money for it. But, once again, another single-player game, just to warn everyone. Yes, this is similar to like a Zelda game, but it's for more adult or mature audiences. So, that's that. Let's open this guy up and show you the 100 codes that I got here, okay? Now, I'm not going to show you the codes, obviously, but I have codes for the digital soundtrack download, so I can get digital download of all the music. We've got the Argyl's Tomb DLC. This is a whole new dungeon to explore, okay? We've got the Shadow of Death pack, which it says, strike fear into the hearts of your enemies. I can actually show you the picture of this one. Strike fear into the hearts of your enemies with the otherworldly Shadow of Death armor and scythe set. So it's exclusive armor and a weapon. And then we've got Metro Last Light coming next year. It's right, a new Metro game. And on the other side you've got South Park, The Stick of Truth, also coming in 2013. And then you got an extra one. I actually got 2 ads. Whoop-de-fucking-do. But, yeah, both those games coming next year. So, what do we have here? Darksiders 2. You've got your game disc. You've got your instruction booklet. Oops. Which actually has another code on the back. So, I don't know. I didn't know that. I always fall for this shit. I really do. I always fall for this shit. I don't realize that they're going to put a code like on the back of an instruction booklet. And I forget to check. And I didn't this time. And I probably just showed it to you in the video. So, worry not, I will be redeeming that code before the video ever goes live. What I actually do is, as my release day unboxing video is uploading to YouTube, I actually enter all the codes for the DLCs and then download that content. It says, your Crucible passcode. To unlock the full Darksiders 2 experience, please enter this single-use code. But it doesn't explain what the hell the code is. It doesn't even tell you what it is. That's nice, a code that doesn't tell you what it is. But all you have here in your instruction booklet is the controls, and that's it. It's a very baseline instruction booklet. So your game and your instruction booklet are right there. Move this over here. You've got, that's the back. The Darksiders 2 Artwork Chronicle art book. This is pretty neat. It's pretty thick too. So a lot of these art books, they're kind of a joke. They're thin as hell. This has a lot of concept art. Okay, look. Concept art, environmental art, weapons, look at this. So, pretty neat art book for a collector's edition. And now, of course, the meat of the collector's edition, the mask replica. And let's take this out carefully. And we'll see if I can figure out what I'm supposed to do with this to set it up and show it to you. Wow, this is pretty neat. So it comes with a base that it actually stands on. Ah, made in China. Yeah, that's nice. That'll stimulate the American economy. Made in fucking China. Anyway. So, I'm setting it up here. Give me 1 second. Coming right now, don't worry. Alright. Check that out. Death's Mask. And it is plastic, just to tell everyone. I know a lot of people wonder with the collector's editions, gee, what's it made of? It's just plastic, it's hollow, but it's pretty neat. It's Death's Mask. It is a life size of a face. Like, I could put this on my face and actually look through it if I wanted to. And I'm sure some people might buy this game and actually end up wearing that for like Halloween, which would be pretty sweet. Just to show you the back, it's actually detailed too. It's actually painted in and colored, and it would fit a real person's face if you were to put like a strap behind it. It could almost look like a Jason Voorhees mask, you know? So, that is the mask for Darksiders 2. Now that I'm thinking about it, did I even open Sleeping Dogs and show this to you? I don't think I did. I skipped by it. So let's look at Sleeping Dogs. Sorry about that. I just skipped by looking at the game because I talk so much. There's your game. And what do you get with this code? I'll tell you. Hold on. This is the code to register your game with Square Enix. Now, normally registering with Square Enix you don't get anything. But a couple of years back when Final Fantasy 13 came out. Is it 13? Yeah, when Final Fantasy 13 came out, when you registered your game with Square Enix, you actually got a avatar bonus. It's a little chocobo that actually is on your Xbox Live dashboard with your avatar, and I still have that, which is pretty neat. So it might be worth it to register the game because they contact you or maybe give you some exclusive stuff. But it's just the game disc, and check to make sure there's no fucking codes on this stupid thing. Yeah. Sleeping Dogs. And controls, absolutely nothing else. So once again, super bare bones, nothing really inside there. Alright, so that's it for release day unboxing for August 14th, 2012. Quite a long one. We had a lot to talk about these games and to show you all the things that they come with the games, which is pretty neat. One important note, I do know there was another game that came out this week that I did not buy, and I talked about this in my weekend preview, but I'll talk about it again here. It's called The Last Story. It's a role-playing game, a Japanese role-playing game, let me clarify that, JRPG, made by Mistwalker Studios, which is a gaming studio that actually is employing most of the people, or the major people, who were involved with making some of the original Final Fantasy games, Chrono Trigger, Dragon Quest. So a lot of those original RPGs, you know, they worked on those games, and now they're working on new JRPGs, and this is their newest outing. It's for the Wii. It actually came out for the Wii. I believe it came out a long time ago, if I'm not mistaken, in Japan. And big hit over there. And it took them quite a while to have it released in America. They were supposed to have it released earlier this year, when it would have been perfect, because there was nothing really else going on when it was supposed to be released. And they decided to delay it till this week, when unfortunately, sorry guys, but I have other stuff to play, highly anticipated stuff that I've wanted to play for quite a while. I've ranted about this earlier this year, so I'm not going to rant about it anymore, but what I will say is this year was too many JRPGs. It's just that simple. We had a drought, literally like a 3 or 4 year run where there were no real JRPGs coming out for consoles, and everyone was like, what happened? There used to be the Tales of series, there used to be Dragon Quest, there used to be this and that, we had Blue Dragon, we had Lost Odyssey, we had Infinite Undiscovery, we had all these games, and then all of a sudden, a drought. And all of a sudden this year, all of these publishers decided to release the fucking JRPGs at the same time. I think on both hands, I can't count how many long-ass JRPGs came out this year. And after playing just a couple of them, including Final Fantasy 13-2, and actually the first half of Xenoblade Chronicles, my viewer base basically told me we don't want to see this anymore. We're bored of it. you know, there were maybe 1,000, 2,000 people who wanted to see it, and everyone else who watches my videos was like, stop playing these games, they're boring. There's grinding, there's too much dialogue, there's nothing really that interesting about them. We don't, you know, the American audience, it's a hard sell to sell these JRPGs to people. So, based off that feedback, I said, you know what? Being that they're so time consuming, I'm going to hold off on the JRPGs. And so, last story, was I interested in it? A little bit. Because like I said, I played Blue Dragon, I played some of these other JRPGs in the past I really enjoyed, but them's the breaks. When you release a game like that on a major week, when there's so many releases, especially now that we're heading into the hardcore gaming season, every week is going to have major releases, you can't delay your game to the point, especially because the game is already out in other countries. There's no fucking reason to delay the game. It's obviously someone did a botch there, okay? The last thing that I want to talk about is how I'm going to approach these games, because I'll be honest with everyone, I like both of these games. I don't know, I haven't played them. I mean, I did get a little bit hands-on with Sleeping Dogs at E3 this year, but I haven't played them, but I'm interested in both of them about equally. And I know that Darksiders 2 has the potential to be up to 50 hours long. Sleeping Dogs, if you do all the side content, has the potential to be about 20 hours long. But if you just do the story, I've heard it's like maybe 11 hours long, okay? Here's how I'm going to approach it. Since today is launch day, today is release day, I'm going to play both of these games, okay? I will be playing Darksiders 2 first. I'm going to be playing that earlier in the day, and I'll be uploading my initial batch of videos of that to DSPGaming. And then later today, I'll be playing Sleeping Dogs and uploading my initial batch of those videos to DSPGaming. So you're going to see footage of both games today. You're going to be able to see on launch day what they're like and judge for yourself whether they look good or not, okay? And then I'm going to decide, I'm not definitively saying either way right now, which one I'm going to be playing first to complete it. Like I said, I did hear that Sleeping Dogs is only about 11 hours long, and so maybe that's the better choice to just go through it. Or maybe I will play both of them every day this week, okay, until Sleeping Dogs is done, because obviously I'll beat Sleeping Dogs first if it's only 11 hours long. So that's the approach I'm taking. I don't want one game to get more feature than another. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to, if people really want to see one game, I don't want to unfortunately say, well, guess what, you have to wait. I'm going to basically try to play both games alongside each other until I finally beat Sleeping Dogs, and that's that. So that's my plan. If you're interested, obviously, please check out my channels all this week. You'll see footage of both games, hopefully enough every day to satisfy your craving for it. And that's it. So thanks a lot for watching Release Day Unboxing. This is one of the longest ones I've ever done, but I had a lot to say. There was a lot to talk about and a lot to say about these games, and we had some really good stuff in the games. Peace out, and I will see you for gameplay of these games this week.